Listen now, talk about the beat out.
Howdy, I'm your host for today, Roger Tang. I wear a lot of hats from executive director and founder of Parkville Productions to editor of the Asian American Theater Review, the foremost resource on Asian American theater, to secretary of the Consortium of Asian American Theaters and Artists and member of the steering committee of the National Asian American Theater Conference and Festival. Let me introduce you to Leilani Chan, chair of the steering committee for Confest. Leilani?
Aloha, Roger. I'm so excited to have you hosting this episode. I miss us not actually being together physically for Confest and being in a strange city looking for places to find noodles.
Yeah.
But we will do it again sometime soon. Well, in the future. I am also I'm the co-chair for the National Asian American Theater Conference and Festival, as Raj just stated. And I guess I'll just tell you a little bit about what is Confest. The Consortium of Asian American Theaters and Festival is CAATA. And we began with a National Asian American Theater Conference, which then became the National Asian American Theater Festival, which now we affectionately call the National Asian American Theater Conference and Festival. We call it affectionately Confest. The Confest was to happen earlier this year in August in Hawaii. And the name of the conference and festival is Ku'u'aina, Ku'upiko, and Ku'ukahua. And loosely translated to our meaning is return to the source. And we, of course, because of the pandemic, it has been put on hold until we can safely gather together. Our desire is to make sure that Hawaii is safe and our communities in Hawaii who are very vulnerable are going to be healthy and able to gather in large numbers when we bring Confest to Hawaii. And of course, we want to make sure that everyone who comes the people we come are also safe. So until then, we began this series, not as a replacement for Confest, but as a way to continue the dialogue and conversation with the National Asian American Theater community. And I just wanted to say that, we're looking forward to seeing everyone come together. I am the co-chair along with Dr. Tammy Haile Opua Baker, who is at the University of Hawaii and the founder of Hana Keaka, Native Hawaiian theater, Native Hawaiian medium theater, and the Hawaiian Theater Department at the University of Hawaii Manoa, where Confest will be held. I wanted to say we are all very excited that President-elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have officially passed the Electoral College, and we're very excited for the first Asian American Vice President, Kamala Harris. And we are also super excited that the vaccine is starting to roll out. And it has been a heavy year for all of us. All of the theaters in the membership as well as board members have had to pivot to providing either online services or even social services to communities. And so we wanted to take this time with this final episode of the year to invite the cheerleader for Asian American Theater, Roger Tang, to be our host for this celebratory episode where we celebrate many of the artists and theaters in Asian American theater. And no one better than Roger, who has, even before CAATA, even before the first National Asian American Theater Conference, been collecting a knowledge base, right, of all of the Asian American theaters and artists and playwrights, everything going on nationally. Roger is the man who knows.
Wow.
And,
thanks, Leilani.
I'm so excited for this episode. And also, it is my duty to make sure that people know that CAATA is a nonprofit. We would love to have memberships. You can go to our website, sign up, become a member. You can make a tax-deductible donation to CAATA. As you know, this work we are offering for free online at this moment, but we really want to pay artists and pay our technical staff for making this happen. Behind the scenes, we have Ariel Estrada and Max Emiliano pulling this together for us every month. And in order for us to pay people and make sure that we can come together healthily at the next Confest, we need your donations to sustain. Your membership comes with privileges as well that Roger might be able to talk a little bit more about later on. But most importantly, as a member, you will get notices right away, as we know, when we will be able to gather, and also other news happening in Asian American theater. So Roger, I'm so excited. Celebration episode, and kind of you're taking us on a national tour of Asian American theaters across Turtle Island.
Yes, I am. I'm going to introduce you to 7 different theaters across the country. It's only this tiniest bit of what we're doing around here in Asian American theater. We're doing lots of fun stuff going on, and I just wanted to. I'm so pleased to be able to introduce people to all of it.
Yay! Well, take it away, Roger. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leilani. Yes. Now, I mentioned all these hats I'm wearing for today's episode because I need all of them to host it as we delve into the variety and richness of Asian American theaters across the country. And all of them have been busy throughout the past year, even through the pandemic, because art needs its voice to say. Now, today I come to you from the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Duwamish, the first people of Seattle. And it is with great honor and gratitude that we honor the generations of stewardship of this land. Now, as the editor of the Asian American Theater Review, I've been called the godfather of Asian American theater. I see what goes on with Asian American plays, actors, companies all across the land. A lot of mainstream theaters say that there aren't enough Asian American actors or scripts. How many times have you heard that? Well, I say balderdash. We exist, and we exist in multitudes. Let's start with the group I run here in Seattle, Porkfield Productions.
Porkfield is the second oldest Asian American theater in the Pacific Northwest. Founded in 1998, Porkfield has had a number of names and programs, but 3 things have always held true. First, we've always centered Asian Americans as creators, whether it's as actors, writers, directors, or designers. The emphasis is to create original work. Second, we've always reached out to allies. Porkfield has always included African Americans, Latinx, and white people as part of our shows, but we've always used the Asian American lens and Asian Americans as the center. Third, our guiding philosophy is whatever we don't see out there, we create. What's missing? What isn't there? When we began in 1998, there were few Asian Americans doing comedy, either in improv or as stand-up. And, of course, the big guns like Saturday Night Live were almost completely lily white. So, Porkfield Players debuted in 1998, one of the first Asian American sketch comedy groups, and we toured throughout the Northwest from Eugene, Oregon to Vancouver, British Columbia. Here's a sample of our work.
Hey, what's Shuma? It's pork fillet.
Do you hear the Shuma sing? Sing because our day has come. We will enter your humanity and all you'll say is yum. When you pick up your chopsticks, we'll be martyred one by one. We may be eaten, but we're free of these dim sum drums. Wait for me! You people at the table, you're forgetting someone. Hey, what are they saying? And now I'm all alone again. They're all around. No one will eat me. I taste good too. I'm just the same. They're so polite. That is so Asian. And now it's very clear that they plan to leave me here. Without me, there would have been 3 shumai, and they'd have sent us back. That's not enough, that guy would say. And what's that? I can't believe my eyes. They are pointing at the cart for another dish. And I know that they just can't be blind. I am here. Someone pick me up. I'm right here. Oh, why, oh, can't you see me? I taste good. I'm just the same as they were. Oh, there's a white guy at the table. He's hungry and he's got no shame. He says good more shumai. I love him. I love him. I won't be left alone.
Let's run this in 2013. Porkville was getting a little restless, and we were looking for new worlds to conquer. Actually, we were getting old. Doing midnight shows on weekdays really doesn't mix with getting married and having kids. We noticed something. TV became the home of shows like Game of Thrones and Arrow. The bestseller list welcomed science fiction and fantasy, and the juggernaut of the Marvel Cinematic Universe began to dominate movies. But where were the Asians? The light dawns. Voila! Porkfield Players became Porkfield Productions. New focus on genre geek theater. First show, a steampunk play by local writer Maggie Lee. Our second, Carla Ching's Fast Company, about a family of Chinese-American conners. And we were the first Asian-American theater to produce it. As we progressed, we created a reputation of conjuring technical wonders on a budget, whether it was Avenging Thai Ghost, projection magic, or crashing airships.
Peace out, seriously? I hear you all now. Let's just get out of here.
Steampunk, heist story, fantasy, ghost story. Pop culture shouldn't be a playground for just white artists. We wanted to play too.
Come on, I want to show you something.
I don't think we're supposed to go up there.
Of course not. That's why we are.
Is it safe while the train's moving?
You ain't afeared, are you?
I'd be a fool if I wasn't. But I'm coming.
I raise you a guinea. All right, now we'll take 3. And I'll raise you a crown.
Fine. 2 falcons and an eagle.
3 falcons. Sorry.
Fair enough. You do.
You have to lie back. Now look up.
The sky. It's enormous. I've never seen so many stars.
It's the only thing that keeps me sane sometimes. Just knowing how big it is. Sometimes I feel so small under the sky, my can't hardly seem getting worked up about.
It's a little frightening, like it could swallow us both up.
I'm not sure I'd mind that, actually.
Yeah.
6 crowns.
All right. What's your hand?
2 pair, owls, falcons.
4 eagles. Thank you very much.
Well, I'll be the queen of daisy cakes. This is turning out to be fun after all. All right, you deal.
When I met you, you were,
Yelling out a window?
yes. And I just wanted to thank you.
Thank me? What for?
I have a quiet life. Even when I lost my foot, I didn't say a word. I saw the blood pooling on the floor. My blood, and my jaw clamped down so tight over the pain, I nearly passed out from the pressure in my skull. Since then, everything I do is so quiet. I've sat in the same quiet office for 10 years, and the silence just pushes me down smaller and smaller. I've always been counted on to do the right thing, to work hard and not complain, to keep quiet. But being here with you, it makes me want to scream.
And that's a good thing?
Yes. For the first time in my life, I want to be loud. I want to make a mess. I want to break things and yell and be a nuisance. I want to make stupid mistakes and not apologize for them. I've never even allowed myself to think about making a mistake ever. Do you know how that feels?
I can imagine. So do it.
What?
You should scream now. See how it feels.
But won't someone hear us?
Who cares if they do? Come on, give it your all.
Ah!
That was terrible. Here, come on and help. On the count of 3, all right? 1, 2, 3.
You hear something?
Nope. Don't you try to distract me, Mr. Hughes. I will take another card, please.
It gets easier with practice. Now, I don't know so much about the breaking things or making a nuisance of yourself, but... Oh my.
I'm sorry. I've never done that before. I mean, I have done that before.
I thought you were going to apologize no more.
You're right. Sorry.
Raise you 30 guineas.
All right. I'll take 2 and raise you 30 more. And I'll ask you, Mr. Hughes, what exactly is your story?
I could ask you the same thing, Kai.
If you are who I think you are, then you already know. Isn't that right, Mr. Yao?
What's that now?
Don't play dumb. You are from the Yao clan, aren't you?
The Yao clan.
I know you all think I cheated Wilhelmina at that last game, but it is not true. Sure, it was a sizable sack of loot on the line, but I don't cheat, period.
Oh, there, fella. You played talons against Wilhelmina Yao, the head of the Yao clan? Are you plumb crazy?
Yes! I mean, you're really not with the Yaos?
Oh, hell no. Ooh, I do not mess with those crazy bastards. Damn nation boy. You walked away from a game of talons with Wilhelmina Yao with her coin in your pocket and your little almond's still intact. You got way bigger problems than me, robbing you.
Wait, you're what?
Oh, yeah, well, I suppose I'm a little early, but I will be taking all this coin and whatever it is you got locked up in that pretty little case of yours, too.
Hey now, take it easy there. I thought we were just playing a friendly game.
Oh, we surely were. And you're a good sport, too. Now, reach for the sky, partner.
What is that? A cloud?
Stop around to be a cloud. Could that be it? What was that?
Looks like the back storage cars. They separated from the train.
Mother of doom, that's an airship.
I didn't know there were any airship lines this far west.
There ain't. I can't believe it. It's the Steel Fox Bandits.
We've also begun a script development program like Myriad and Mew, oriented toward genre stories. We present them in a festival called Unleashed, New Pulp Stories for the 21st Century. In our first 2 years, we presented 10 new scripts in our festival, and 5 of them have received offers for full productions. We've just finished our 3rd festival. Too soon to figure out our batting average, but don't be surprised to hear names like Julia Zumi, Patrick Zhang, and Jesse Zhao on stages near you.
And that's the purpose of Porkfield, to bring variety to American stages using the many genres that inhabit pop culture. Next, we go 1,500 miles east to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, where Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we learn the story of a pioneer in Asian American theater, Theater Mew. Mew has been the main stage in Asian American theaters, serving a surprisingly large population of Asian Americans in the Midwest. They have long been the largest incubator of new Asian American plays. Let's hear their story.
Hi, my name is Lily Tung Crystal, and I'm the artistic director of Theater Moo. Before joining the Minnesota arts community, I was already familiar with the legacy and rich history of Moo. As a young Asian American actor, I knew that Moo did inspiring work and that it was a home for artists like me. I knew the story of the University of Minnesota graduate student Dong-il Lee, reaching out to playwright and director Rick Shiomi to start an Asian American theater company 28 years ago.
Well, to begin with, I had always considered Minnesota flyover country because I was doing theater work on the West Coast and in New York. But in the around 1990, I actually reluctantly went to a theater and higher education conference where I met Martha, and I met a young graduate student at the U of M, Dong-Il Lee. And it's, in fact, it was Dong-Il Lee who approached Martha and myself to help start the company. And because I had visited the Twin Cities, but had never thought that you could start an Asian American theater company here. I was too smart to think that. But Dong-Il Lee was one of those idealistic young people, and he wanted to start the company and knew that I had been in Asian American theater. And because I had worked with Martha, and she was a professor of theater at Augsburg College, he asked both of us to separately to help him start the company. So the three of us, plus then he went out and found Diane S. Baldon, who became one of the co-founders, but also the first managing director. So by the time we got to 1992 is when we basically formed the company.
Over the course of 10 years, Rick and his wife, director and educator, Martha Johnson, nurtured that wild idea into a prevailing arts organization. This nurturing quality is a recurring theme as I hear more anecdotes of Rick and Martha going out and finding Asian Americans to act in their shows. Folks sometimes with no theater experience, but who would eventually become core artists of a quickly growing, nationally known family. Eventually, Mu fostered a taiko drumming program called Mu Daiko, and Theater Mu became Mu Performing Arts. This next decade of Mu would be dubbed the golden years, as the company flexed its artistic muscles and started producing large-scale shows from Shakespeare to Sondheim. With Penumbra Theater, Pangea World Theater, New Native Theater, and Teatro del Pueblo, we formed the Twin Cities Theaters of Color Coalition to work against funding disparities in the arts. Then in 2017, Mu Daiko formed its own company, and we reverted back to Theater Mu. 2 years later, I would become its third artistic director. So I knew of the broad strokes of Mu's story, but as I made the move from the Bay Area to the Twin Cities, I began to gain a fuller understanding of the Asian American communities here and how they differ from those on the coast. For instance, there's no Chinatown here, or Little Tokyo, or Little Saigon. What we do have is Frogtown, a large quarter of St. Paul that's home to a thriving immigrant, New American, and Southeast Asian community. Minnesota actually has the largest population of Southeast Asians in the nation, most of whom are Hmong Americans. Mu was also the first Asian American theater company to write and produce a play about Korean adoption, as there's a huge adoptee community here. In fact, Mu has had the opportunity to commission and premiere 56 new plays, including the works of Mei Li Yang, Leah Nanako Winkler, Saimutha Vangsai, Jessica Huang, and Lauren Yee. We've nurtured performers who now have national careers, including Katie Bradley, Eric Sharp, and Megan Kreidler. Again, that accomplishment comes from nurturing rising artists, especially given our distance from the coastal theater communities. These demographic and geographic nuances guide Theater Mu's work.
I've told a lot of people since I've been here. I've only been here since August, so this is my 8th month, or this is my 9th month. And I'm really astonished by how strong Mu's community is. Like, people are so loyal to Mu. And from the artists to the supporters to the fans, and I've never quite seen anything like it anywhere else in the country at a theater. So I feel really blessed to be part of that community and to have such a strong force.
We saw this support when in March, the pandemic forced us to shelter in place. Even before that order, the Mu staff had decided to work remotely and started brainstorming our next moves. We let our imagination and low risk aversion take over. The very next week, we had our first Mu Monday, a virtual table reading where artists from around the country read plays by Asian American playwrights. And we offered a family explorations program where Mu artists taught theater activities to children and their families. Shortly after, we produced our first Mutini Hour, where we drew on the staff's past TV experience to create an online talk show with Asian American theater movers and shakers.
I have a surprise for Amelia and Philip.
Oh.
So,
oh no. Yeah.
No,
Should I start to be
I do.
embarrassed?
Good. It's all, I don't know. I don't think so. Hold on.
Maybe I need a drink refill for this.
Do you want to go get a drink refill? You're welcome.
I'm going to be right back.
Okay.
Wait, Lily, can we talk to your?
Whoa, whoa!
Wow.
Holy, this is great. My God.
Okay.
I've been watching.
Oh, thank you so much. So
I want to know what's going on before I start.
wait, okay, I want to introduce to our audience who's in the room. So
Oh my
these are all people who have worked together before and who are the people that led the way for all of us.
I am amongst the brilliant.
Crazy.
So Eric Hayashi here, who is the executive director of AATC. Greg Watson, Robert Kikuchi Gojo is here.
And Nancy Wong.
And Nancy
Yes.
Wong. Hi, Nancy. Amy, King, actor. And hi, Amy. We've never met, but I know your work. Thank you so much for being here.
I watched you on your little routine.
Thank you, Amy. And
Sure.
David Henry Huang is here with us, playwright, and Kelvin Han Yi, the actor, and Sharon Oman, the actor.
Oh my
Thank you so much
God.
for being here.
I watched you.
Look at all these old people.
You're all
Dye their hair.
I know.
This is a senior citizen club.
Along the way, other theaters asked us logistical questions like, how do you collect RSVPs? What if no one watches? What's better, Facebook Live or Zoom webinar? Is there a marketing budget? Our answer was always the same, just do it. We started producing our 3 programs every week. Ultimately, our virtual programming allowed us to build community and audiences nationwide and globally. And then George Floyd was murdered right down the block from us. There was undoubtedly a tonal shift in the Twin Cities, and through the grief and trauma, we began to hone in on the social activist aspect of our mission. We joined other Asian Minnesotan organizations to combat anti-Blackness and COVID-related racism. We printed posters for protesters, used our social media to share important think pieces, and translated state updates for non-English speakers. We joined meetings with the mayors and sit-ins at the Capitol. When we transitioned back to our art, we carried with us this sense of urgency and became more intentional about our programming. In July, we produced Replays, a virtual play festival where pairs of Asian and Black playwrights co-wrote short plays responding to the current moment in the Twin Cities. We organized the 24-hour Play Fest, where 30 Asian American artists from around the country gather to write, rehearse, and present 6 10-minute plays all in one day. And now, we're focusing on our main stage production, Today is My Birthday, by Susan Soonhee Stanton. In the show, the search for personal meaning mirrors the social revolution of the pandemic, as each character desperately tries to find connection through isolation. The story is cleverly told through phone calls, voicemails, and radio. So we have this incredible opportunity to create a fully designed multi-camera production that takes into account COVID safety. It also combines the video elements of film and television with the live elements of theater to become its own new art form. You can catch Today is My Birthday on our virtual stage, February 5th to 21st. I'm thankful to the MOO staff for going out of their way to learn new skills and being open to wearing different hats. I'm thankful to our board, who trusts us to make mission-oriented decisions. And I'm thankful to our supporters for learning alongside us and engaging with this new and interesting programming. Almost 30 years ago, away from the larger and varied opportunities of the coasts, a home was built for Asian Americans here in the Midwest. This pandemic has given us the opportunity to open up our doors to new artists and audiences. And now we're engaging with folks from 43 states and 12 countries. I believe that's the legacy of MOO, that the founders dared to create a theater company where it didn't really make sense. And they proved that Asian American communities thrive in every crook and cranny of this country. And in each community, there are potential Asian American artists who just need an opportunity to create and be nurtured. As we continue through this journey, our hope is that we keep moving Asian American theater forward.
Let's head even further east and hit the Big Apple. Let's meet Mayi Theater, another powerhouse in Asian American theater, both in production and in writers. They boast one of the largest stables of Asian American writers ever assembled, with writers like Hui Win, Lauren Yi, Lei Nanaka Winkler, Susan Soon Hee Sten, and more. They've been winners of Obies, Emmys, and more awards than you can shake a stick at. If you're producing Asian American theater, you're producing one of their writers.
Hi, my name is Sarah Hanlon, Associate Producer for Mayi Theater Company, the country's leading theater company dedicated to the development of work by Asian American playwrights.
I'm Jesse J. Hoon. I'm a playwright, actor, and organizer by day, but by night, I'm Batman!
And he's an associate and graphic designer here at Mayi Theater Company.
Oh, yeah, right, that too. An associate of justice! For over 30 years, Mayi Theater Company has been a nationally recognized safe home for Asian American playwrights to create innovative, bold new work. From early on in the development process all the way to production, Mayi prioritizes the needs of playwrights to fully explore and fine-tune their concepts and work.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, a little history. Mayi Theater Company began in 1989 as an outpost for the Filipino Asian theater community right here in New York City.
As the need for a home for the Asian American theater community at large increased, Mayi became a home for all Asian American writers to explore and develop their voices.
As a playwright-driven organization, Mayi... Like I was saying, as a playwright-driven organization, Mayi Theater Company is proud to house the largest cohort of Asian American playwrights, the Mayi Writers Lab, home to 33 writers located all across the country.
The Labby's works, seen nationally and internationally, have won numerous awards such as the Steinberg Playwright Award, the Richard Rogers Award, the Horton Foote Prize, and many more.
These productions have been changing the theater from the inside out.
Then, unfortunately, in March 2020, the coronavirus pandemic forced the closures of theaters across America, including our productions of Suicide Forest and Wolf Play. Theater artists all over the country continue to struggle to this day, burdened by a spike in unemployment, a Byzantine healthcare system, and a looming eviction crisis.
For the Mayi staff, this was a moment of reckoning, but the solution was right under our noses. With the generous support of our funders, and together with a series of world-class technicians and media workers, Mayi repurposed our Midtown Manhattan rehearsal space into a video studio. With professional film, lighting, sound equipment, and advanced safety measures, our studio is designed to allow theater makers the ability to create quality video content on a budget. And with that in mind, we wasted no time in putting our studio to good use. We have created documentary videos such as Pinoy Street Dancers, where we follow two young Filipino-American dancers and how they have both charted different paths to pursue their passion. And we have created comedy sketches such as Second Homeowners, where we poke fun at news articles that seem to miss the point ever so slightly.
But Sarah, what about those of us who are stuck at home and can't make it out to Midtown where the studio is?
For those of you who can't join us in the studio, Mayi Theater Company has assembled professional roving video kits we can send straight to your home.
It's so portable, yet so professional. The Mayi roving kits are fully stocked with all the necessary film, lighting, and sound equipment you could possibly need.
Yes, now you can get quality footage whether you're in our rehearsal studio or
working diligently from home. Yep.
Hey Jesse, I need those shots now. It's been 4 days.
Wrong number!
But we haven't stopped there. Yi Theater Company has been collaborating with Asian American artists across the country to create streaming content that keeps artists employed and compensated. And the best part is all of this new and exciting content can be found on our new website, mayistudios.com. We have short films like Sophocles in Staten Island that questions what happens when members of a family are quarantined together with an overbearing homeschooled dad who insists everyone must make a film on Oedipus Rex and Antigone. We have a song cycle series titled A Divergent War, which describes how the strict rules of quarantine in the Philippines disproportionately affect the working class and the poor. And keeping true to our mission statement, we at Yi continue to develop and host new live play readings and other developmental works. Stick with Yi, folks, for just on the horizon, we have some exciting collaborative feature-length films and experimental work coming your way.
We will also continue supporting our Writers Lab, as well as continuing the development of new plays by Asian American writers everywhere, to ensure that when the theater does return, we're prepared for the future.
For the future.
Thanks, folks. Let's jog up to New England now, and let's meet one of the newest groups around, the Asian American Theater Artists of Boston. But even though they're young on years, they're mighty in their work. In fact, we use some of their artists up here in Seattle for Porkfield's Unleashed Festival.
Hi, CAATA. My name is Micah. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm so excited to be sharing digital space and time with you to be talking about Asian American Theater Artists of Boston, ATAB for short. I am a skin, warm-hued, mixed Tagalog person currently wearing a barong Tagalog and large dangly lavender earrings. My hair is dyed blonde, and I am in my childhood bedroom, which you can imagine as you see fit. What's up, Sarah?
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a light-skinned Korean American woman with shortish, blackish hair with an undercut, also gold earrings and a neon green turtleneck. And I am also in my childhood bedroom, but I am hiding it with a gray backdrop. And I am currently in Schwenksville, Pennsylvania, which is the traditional land of the Lenni Lenape people.
And I am in what is colonially known as Northern Virginia, the unceded lands of the Manahoic people. But as ATAB, we do our work in Shamat, the unceded lands of the Massachusetts and Wampanoag people. And we want to acknowledge that as we are doing this work of narrative liberation for our communities in Shamat and our communities in other geographies, we are doing so on Native land. And this work of freeing storytelling for all people has to be part of a larger global liberation movement that in America centers Black and Indigenous people. We thank you for acknowledging this truth with us and for continuing, furthering, or beginning your own journeys of reconciliation. Today, we want to take time and space to talk about our origin story as ATAB and sort of bring you to how we got to where we are now in November of 2020. Sarah made this awesome slideshow, which we're sharing now. This is my slideshow sharing song. A brief history of ATAB.
Incredible, yes.
So these are pictures of beautiful humans that we love and care about. And in some of them, you'll see gatherings from how Sarah and I met, which is through a tradition at the Boston University School of Theater, wherein Asian American students and Asian students gather one or a few nights a year under Asian dinner to eat and be merry and celebrate community together. This is how we met, and it sort of became the founding grounds for our eventual collaboration as ATAB after I went to CAATA Confest in summer of 2018, met Kat Ramirez, and learned through them how Philadelphia Asian performing artists became a community-based scene for Asian folk. I sent Sarah a Facebook message and was like, yo, you wanna do this in Boston? And Sarah was like, sure. So we did.
So yeah, we made a Facebook group just adding all of our friends that you see here and also people that we just saw working in Boston that were Asian American or of the Asian diaspora and just added them into the group so that we could just get everyone to know each other. And we also created a mission. So our mission as ATAB is we seek to empower and connect Asian American, Pacific Islander American, Swana American, and Kanaka Maoli artists in the greater Boston area. We started from there and then used our Facebook group to post auditions, events, resources, shows that people were in, and just kind of put out awareness about everything that was happening or that ways that we could help each other as Asian American artists. And then eventually we were able to partner with theater companies. We did a whole spree of just reaching out to as many people as possible saying, hi, we're here. Can we help in some way? Is there something that we can do together? And because of this amazing season that happened in Boston from 2018 to 2019, we were able to do quite a lot. We partnered with Company One Theater on their show Vietgone and did Vietgone at the Gate, an open mic event at the Chinatown Gate. And then a few months later, we were able to partner with Boston Asian American Film Festival and Merrimack Repertory Theater and host a field trip out to Lowell, Massachusetts to see Cambodian rock band with a reception afterwards with the cast and also with fudge that the house manager made for us, which was just really, really nice and made us feel really good about community and gathering people. At the same time, we were also able to start creating our own events and we put out a reading of This Is Not a True Story by Preston Choi out at the POW Art Center with the support of API Arts Network. And that was kind of our big, I mark that as a formal introduction of ATAB to the Boston theater community because again, we were just inviting as many people as we knew to come out and just meet us so that we could see how we could all work together.
Yeah, and that was also through support from BU CFA College of Fine Arts Social Impact Seed Grant. So a lot of our work has been leveraging our access and resources as BU students to support our communities in however way we can.
By December of 2019, there had been a whole lot of shows that happened that featured Asian American, Pan-Asian representation on and off stages in the theater companies and also educational institutions. So we were able to then partner with API Arts Network, Asian American Playwrights Collective, and POW Arts Center to put together Reflect and Refresh, which was a two-part event, part one being Reflect, gathering artistic directors and producers from the greater Boston area to just talk about what happened that past season and what felt good, what we learned, and most importantly, how can we continue Asian representation and let it grow, not let it be a one-year trend just because Crazy Rich Asians came out. And then part two was a refresh reception where we just gathered everyone from the community to, again, enjoy good food and good music and just be able to be together for this one night and celebrate the whole year, and also thinking of good wishes for the year after.
And then 2020 actually happened, reminding us of the importance of our community. All of our work is only possible through the tremendous support of individuals and the organizations and communities that they've represented and brought to the table and welcomed us into as ATAB. So we want to take a moment to really thank and identify more of those folks, Asian American Playwrights Collective again, BAF again, POW Arts Center again, Stage Source, who invited us to a newish leadership open house where we got to network with other leaders in the area. And then the Front Porch Arts Collective, a Black-led theater collective that has really changed the scene in Boston in terms of what it means to meaningfully include community in storytelling, specifically in the theater scene. And then, of course, API Arts Network and Company One Theater, an often collaborator, and Boston Playwrights Theater, who helped us get off our feet by giving us a space for social gatherings and open mic nights as we were just starting out, just meeting in Sarah's apartment, figuring out what to do next. We are really thankful for space because that is such a huge and important issue in the Boston theater scene. And I wish for everyone to have a dedicated arts space like the POW Arts Center, which is in the heart of Chinatown in Boston. Everyone deserves to have a place where they feel safe and can tell stories meaningfully for each other. Yeah.
And then 2020 happened, and this was a time when neither of us were in the Boston area anymore. I had gone off and trying to figure out freelance artist life, and Micah went abroad. And so ATAP was in a place of kind of figuring out what to do next. And then the pandemic happened. And then it came to a point where I was figuring out how I could stop just sitting around in my house, and how I could just make an impact to a community and just help others, connect people together again. I was also looking for a creative outlet because I was working at my father's restaurant almost every day, and I wanted to give myself more things to do. So I reached out to our ATAP Facebook group asking, what do people want to do? What do people need right now? And people wanted to act and create. So we put together a 6-part play reading series with all Boston-based or Boston-trained Asian American artists involved. And at the same time, we were able to amplify different organizations that we should donate to during this time when everyone is in need. But I felt like these organizations were talking about very specific issues. And so we were able to do that and create amazing work, fun work, made people feel good, and gather people from like all over the world, really. And we couldn't have done it without HowlRound for live streaming all of the plays, for POW Art Center and Company One for their financial support, and also Chuang Stage, and Mavis Menalotto and Michaela Witt for the logistics and technological support. It was really an amazing experience where I felt like ATAP was learning what we could do. We could continue doing in this virtual theater world and forward, which is just partnering with other theater groups, other organizations, and bringing together community and listening to what the community needs. And so after that, we continued our partnership, our relationship with POW Art Center, and put on a new Zoom play reading called #Since Y'all Want Me to Be White, where we got to hire even more artists. And then we also participated in Company One's fieldwork convening, where we got to talk about how to produce in a pandemic. And this convening was for all artists that were just learning, trying to figure out how to navigate, how to live, how to create during this time. And so ATAP was able to be a part of that.
Really excited to keep going, partnering again with Allison Chu and Chuang Stage, and then looking to sort of full circle return to Philadelphia Asian Performing Artists, taking advantage of our distance, but our ability to connect virtually and program together and build out this intergenerational, multi-geographic community even further. We extend an invitation to all of you. If you feel like you can find a home in ATAB, please reach out to us. And yeah, let's get cooking. Food is our recurring theme, if you haven't guessed already. Okay, that's ATAB, everybody.
Thank you, CAATA. Thank you.
CAATA.
Whipping from one end of the country to the other, let's go from the youngest Asian American theater to the oldest. In fact, East West Players is the oldest theater for people of color in the country. Co-founded by Mako, the true father of Asian American theater, they've been the cradle for a myriad of Asian American artists, from David Henry Wong to John Cho. They're the bedrock all of us look to.
Hi, my name is Andy Lowe. I'm the Director of Production and Casting for East West Players, and being part of East West Players is a great thing because, it's very much a generational company. The company was founded in 1965, and I started in 2013, and so, coming on board meant kind of inheriting this wonderful legacy and history of many actors and creatives who have come before us. And so one of the people that I love kind of reaching back to, or the two of the people actually that I love reaching back to, are the two people that are here with us today who have a long history with the company. They continue to teach for East West Players. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourself, Dom and Sachi?
I'm Sachiko Magwili.
I'm Dom Magwili.
And we're married
to each other.
I joined East West Players 1967. And I got to do a number of productions there. Bernardo Alba, Servant of Two Masters, Inspector General, a number of things. We even did Kilgans, and we did a lot of different shows. But at that time, we were in the basement of a church. And so at the basement of a church, you have to set up the stage. You have to set up a stage. You have to go and nail in all the chairs. I mean, that's what we had to do. You just did it, period. You can complain about it, but you still did it because Mako said so.
So what was the mood like of that time, right? I mean, you have, Mako, of course, who was there, who by this time he had a number of pretty high profile credits to his name, both stage and screen at this point. And then you had a lot of folks that were, getting bit parts here and there, or were just starting. Like, what was that dynamic like?
Theater's always kind of, you have a lot of different kinds of individuals there, and they're there for different reasons. And at that time, a lot of people, the ones who were there were actors really looking for jobs. In order for them to do a job, they had to have something to work with. So they would take some of the older regular classic plays and do that. But at a point, Dom said, Mako said, no, we need to do some of our own stuff,
What you had in like the founders, like the famous ones, Jimmy Hong, like Number One Son, Mako would be nominated for Best Supporting Actor in Sand Pebbles. That kind of credibility created these were, like, I think, very willful people. I have this prejudice about the early years of East West Players, and it was mostly to get better work.
Yeah,
the presumption was if you could see us do real acting, something more than just a waiter, that we could get cast in better roles. And so they did Rashomon, and it was impressive. I think out of that, maybe Mako got cast in Sand Pebbles. Jimmy was always working, and a number of them, Sun Tako, they would work, Beulah would work. But in spite of that, in spite of very strong egos, theater was not only maintained, but it endured. Yeah. And the position of Mako during the 20-odd years that he was the artistic director was mostly his will. He had a barbaric will to survive. There are certain things in terms of Asian American theater that was very important. East West was built for actors. Up in San Francisco, the Asian American Theater Workshop was built for writers. So East West was really willing to do anything. They'll do Shakespeare, they'll do Commedia dell'arte, just to demonstrate that we can act. I joined the theater company in '74. When it moved from the church, it went to an architect's warehouse at 4424 Santa Monica Boulevard. I saw the production where I first saw Sachiko. She was in a show called Jungle in the Cities by Brecht. And the floor of the performing space was concrete and asphalt. But there were 30 Asian American people
on
the stage without dialect doing Brecht, which shook me to the core because I had no idea.
He thought he was only one.
I came out of ACT, I got training. I didn't see anybody who looked like me. So I come down to LA, I see the East West Players Theater, and I'm like one of several dozen. And it changed my attitude. We're in LA where 1-2 takes is really good, so fast is favored. And things are hip, and people should write to that. And who cares about Shakespeare? And Mako would struggle with that because he wanted to do shows that would increase the level of actors' quality beyond having a part on a regular part on a series TV. He was, for all his struggles, he had artistic aspirations for the theater company.
Yeah.
Back in those days of the 1970s, for $35, you could, at the theater workshop,
classes,
you could take any classes that they had for $35 a month.
Can you imagine that, paying one, and then you can take a acting class, or you can take a
writing class, acting 1 and 2, tap dance.
Class, yeah.
You know, it's that was one of the best deals in Los Angeles at that time. The amount of theater training you could get. So Mako had teaching classes and like that, but he had an offshoot. Total Theater Ensemble, if you looked at it, you would think they are the actors who would do the children's shows. In the 70s, they were fielding 10, 12 actors in a bus, going off to schools to do an assortment of shows. Everybody's getting paid. And Mako continued to distill this notion of a particular style of performance, using the children's theater as the foundation for it. It gave money to the actors who were working it, and it kept this notion alive.
And also the kids saw our faces. You know, they saw a whole bunch of our faces. And we felt that was very important. They could talk a blue streak about this or that or whatever, but the physicality of us being in front of children who are not used to maybe seeing all these faces who are very much alike, you know, I think that was more, that spoke a lot more than you just saying a bunch of words, you know. So I felt that was a wonderful idea.
There was something that evolved, I think, during my time at East West Players, and that is the introduction of music. It came in the year that Mako did Pacific Overtures, and then Philip Katana came in with The Avocado Kid, and they also did Princess Charlie, a Christmas musical. That was 3 musicals in a row. Nobody was planning on The Avocado Kid. It sort of just dropped there. So 3 musicals, and people liked them enough that Mako started to include that as part of the formula for the seasons. And particularly when he went off to do Pacific Overtures, and he came back with this relationship with Stephen Sondheim, the theater started doing Sondheim work. And I'm really, really prejudiced in favor of the small theater and Sondheim's words. You hear it.
You hear it
clearly,
you
and
really hear it. Yeah.
East-West renditions of those shows were particularly enjoyable if you were an audience member.
Because I saw the show on Broadway, right? And then I saw it on the smaller stage. A world of difference. It was so meaningful for me anyway. It had, we could hear everything they were saying, and it made sense. Somehow on the larger stage, some things got lost, but in those intimate, smaller theaters, it really made a difference.
I watched George Takei do Equus, and I'm looking at him do. When is he ever going to get that opportunity? And George has worked a long time, and he's paid his dues and then some. East West provides is a constant voice. Now, you and I mean, we know of productions that have existed, produced by Asian American people, and they're really excellent. And particularly if they're theatrical, as I think Peter Brooks said, it's like writing messages in the snow. And they're gone. And all we have is our memories of it. The Asian American actor's career is like a earthquake. If you're monitoring earthquakes, it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. There is no comfort there. What East West was able to do to a lot of its artists is give some kind of constancy because they're present. Constancy, a level of quality. If you do it in 2 or 3 years, well, you've been very lucky. Congratulations, you can go home now. But East West has been performing at a very high level for a very long time. When all the musicals that we have seen, I favor. So I've written a lot of musicals for East West Players. I think our musicals are better because we're cheaper. But the whole idea of cultivating the flowers in your own garden is, I think, critical for the community.
Part of all of this happened when Tim came in and said, Satch, can you go and put together a program that's a full-time, the whole year program, you know? And in order for you to do that—
This is the East West Players Conservatory.
It was just a workshop at one time. And I said, I was talking to Tom, I said, it needs to change its name. It sounds kind of high tone, like a conservatory. But I said, these kids, their family want them to be going to some kind of real education. So I says, make it a conservatory, then it sounds like a school, you know? So that's one of the reasons I said, well, why do you have such a name on conservatory? I said, I don't know. I just thought like it was a good idea. But partly it was because I knew the parents did not want them to be going into a theater workshop. What is that? You know, conservatory? Oh, you're learning something. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a different take they have on it. But out of that, we were able to get Kim Yuri and John Lone. They came with us into the community and brought people back. It was, you know, we did what we could. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of anything, but there is some chutzpah we did have. A little bit anyway.
I mean, every once in a while I stop for a moment and I think about this. This is a 55-year legacy that I and my current coworkers now are carrying. And I'm very thankful to be part of that. And for all of you that have been part of this with me, before me, and continuing.
Let's cruise up the California coast to our next theater, Bindlestiff Studio. In a lot of ways, Bindlestiff draws upon the spirit all the pioneers had when they invented Asian American theater. It's a grassroots group in sync with the community because their concerns are the community. And Bindlestiff just glows with heart.
halapira. Sugot mga kapatid, tayo ay magsama-sama. Iwagayway na ang bandera, rock and roll hanggang umaga. Ngayong gabi ay magsasaya, manunood ng mga banda, sumayaw na parang asong ulol, sa baho at tambon na lumilindol. Hey! Isang linggong bilang unang isang buwan mong pinamangan, bibak ng mga gitara, mga paborito mong kanta. Halapira. Sugot mga kapatid, tayo ay magsama-sama. Iwagayway na ang bandera, rock and roll hanggang umaga. Sugot mga kapatid, tayo ay magsama-sama. Iwagayway na ang bandera, rock and roll hanggang umaga.
Hi everybody, my name is Aureen Almario and I am the Artistic Director at Binilsif Studio. We are located in unceded Ramaytush Ohlone land, now known as San Francisco. Specifically, we are also in Soma Pilipinas Cultural Heritage District. Binilsif Studio is the only black box theater dedicated to Philippine X-American performing arts. And our space is multi-purpose, serving multiple disciplines, as shown in the previous video you just watched. From plays, sketch comedy, music shows, and now video, Binilsif Studio has provided a vital space for artists and the local community here in SF and Bay Area. Featured in the video are clips from our main stage productions and staple shows like the Love Edition, Tagalog, the Pinoy Punk Festival, A Class and Fest. We also showed some of our resident troupes such as Geek Show, Granny Car Gangstas, and Forbidden Futures, as well as our beloved youth and senior programs. For nearly 30 years, we have produced countless original work and nurtured and cultivated artists through our Page to Stage program, Stories High. What really makes us unique is our connection to our community. Our focus is not just what goes on stage, but truly amplifying the voices of our local community members, ensuring that everyone has access to theater arts and collaborating with our local artists and organizations. In many ways, we operate as an artistic hub. And throughout the quarantine, our artists, our youth and seniors continued to produce art and embraced the challenge of virtual performance. We have tons of online offerings from workshops to shows, so please check us out. Now, the video you're about to watch is a short sketch from the Granny Car Gangstas, an all Asian American women sketch comedy group. This is a sketch from their show COVID-19, which premiered online on November 7th, 2020.
Hi, I'm Mitch Ketchum, and I want to know, what are you getting done during quarantine? Are you going hardcore?
I finally made top ramen without reading directions.
That's hardcore!
After I put the kids to bed, I finally watched that movie where Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson fight and cry.
That's hardcore!
I pierced my own ears.
That's hardcore!
So I learned how to nay-nay.
hardcore.
I finally got some sleep.
Now that's hardcore.
I finally worked up the courage to say, I voted for Trump.
That's hardcore. The fuck you just say? What the fuck's the matter with you, huh? You some kind of Russian bud or something? Why don't you go in your garage, turn your engine on, and carbon monoxide yourself to sleep, you racist dumb fuck!
Finally, we end up where we started, here in Seattle, with CIS Productions. Centering Asian American women, CIS Productions has been a quiet groundbreaker here in the Pacific Northwest. And run by one of my closest friends, CIS is a great peer to Parkfield as we constantly share artists, expertise, and effort. We happily coexist because there's more than enough room for all of us.
Hi, we're CIS Productions. And we are a local Seattle-based production company that basically offers leadership positions for women in doing theater.
Celebrating our 20th anniversary as an Asian American female-run theater company, CIS Productions began through the original creation of Sex in Seattle, a 20-episode Asian American romantic comedy, 18 years before Crazy Rich Asians. Running for 12 years, Sex in Seattle was a popular and critically acclaimed episodic series for the stage that attracted a large, deeply devoted following of incredibly diverse fans due to the show's imaginative, often hilarious, surprisingly smart storylines that created visibility for Asian Americans as protagonists in our own genuinely relatable contemporary situations.
Why does every woman I fall for choose a white guy over me? Whoa, I'm sorry to dump on you, Elizabeth.
No, I interrupted your private time.
I just thought that being here with a man helped me feel better about stuff.
I should leave you two alone then.
Oh, what about you?
Me?
Well, most people don't hang out at cemeteries for fun.
I like cemeteries. They're peaceful.
Agreed. Hey, did you check out the view of the lake today?
Isn't it breathtaking?
I've been coming here since college just to breathe, to spend time with myself.
I like coming here to get outside of myself. I always imagine what different people's lives must have been like, how they might have died.
Okay.
Well, like this one here. You can see that the wife died on the same day as her baby. But her husband lived for another 43 years. And yet there's no other marker to ever indicate he ever remarried. Isn't that romantic?
I think that's kind of sad. In a tragically romantic kind of way.
But all famous romances end tragically. Romeo and Juliet, Kathy and Heathcliff, West Side Story. That's what makes it true love.
That's messed up. Whatever happened to living happily ever after?
Maybe that only happens in fairy tales.
I refuse to believe that.
I'm not so sure anymore.
Elizabeth, no. You've got to believe. You're like the most optimistic person I know. If you stop believing in happy endings, what kind of hope do any of the rest of us have?
Maybe you're just gonna have to believe for both of us.
Maybe I will. Even though it beats me why I should.
Maybe it would be better if we were brought to believe that everything was going to end horrifically bad. That way, no matter what happens, everything will turn out better than we expect.
My Filipino mom has that method mastered.
She doesn't really tell you everything's going to end up badly, does she?
Yes. She's also Catholic. She'd cry and make me feel so guilty. It was her way of scaring me from doing anything wrong.
What about your dad?
He's Japanese American, so he's smart enough to let my mom have her way.
My parents are the exact opposite. All the Chinese stories they told me were about being the perfect, obedient child. I would be blessed with great fortune and happiness if I pleased my family and did everything right.
So I grew up learning what not to do, so I have no clue what I should be doing.
And I grew up learning what I should be doing, But now I have no idea what to do because nothing worked out the way I'd planned.
I'm willing to help you out if you do the same for me.
Sure.
So, what'd you come here to think about?
I've already taken up too much of your time.
Oh, hey, I don't... I mean, Bruce Lee and Son are great and all, but it's nice talking to a real person, too.
May I get a rain check?
You got it.
George, buddy, you've inspired me. Elizabeth, this is for you. Ready? You know I'll never tell you what I'm thinking of, and I'll never tell you that it's you that I love. I've got romantic thoughts, but nothing much to say, 'cause I love you in an Asian kind of way.
Communication is the key to get along, so
I'll let you know if you do anything wrong.
Things will be perfect if you do what I say, 'cause I love you in an Asian kind of way. Well, the seeds we're sowing, knowing where we're going, we must understand where we're from. I need a girl who's stable, beautiful and able, like my mom. Just like mom. But I'll never tell you what I'm thinking of, and I'll never tell you that it's you that I love. I've got romantic thoughts, but nothing much to say, 'cause I love you in an Asian kind of way. Oh yeah, yes I love you. Ain't no one else I'll love you, because I love you. I love you in an Asian kind of way. Yeah! Elizabeth?
Yes?
Hey everybody, I think the buffet's ready.
Oh, finally!
Let's give them some space, huh?
Don't they make a great couple?
Yeah.
What'd I say? Do you want to ask me something?
Yeah. What'd you think?
Oh, Kenneth, that was so romantic.
I was hoping you'd like it. When Colin suggested it, I wasn't sure, but
Colin suggested it?
yeah. I'd almost given up, but he wanted you to have your fairy tale ending, so he's been helping me with everything.
Kenneth?
CIS Productions also produces the Northwest premieres of the newest Asian American plays in the country, often introducing Seattle to playwrights such as Lauren Yee, Michael Golomko, Julia Cho, Nandita Shenoy, and Deepika Guha. One of Seattle's first theater companies to regularly do site-specific work, our revealed theatrical walking tours of our Chinatown International District commissioned local playwrights to write brief vignettes set in the neighborhood for our tour groups to encounter. Our sold-out tours not only gave emerging playwrights an opportunity to develop new work, they also introduced the general public to the small businesses of our vibrant cultural neighborhood in a uniquely fun way. This innovative format inspired a few other Asian American artists to create their own versions as well, and led to CIS being commissioned by various artistic partners to explore other site-specific work in hotels, cemeteries, museums, parks, and more. In partnership with the Hansberry Project, SA Teatro, and Prathithwani, we create an annual Represent, a multicultural playwrights festival to showcase new work by playwrights of color. CIS also started a writers group in 2005 to support local Asian American playwrights writing their first scripts, a number of whom have gone on to win awards and or get their work produced locally and nationally. We are often invited to partner with other organizations like the Wing Luke Asian Museum, Theater Puget Sound, Arts West, Seattle Public Theater, Seattle Opera, and West of Lenin to bring relevant work centering the voices of Asian Americans to the community. CIS Productions has also served the broader local and national community as a resource for connection, diverse casting, and racial and gender equity in theater, providing guidance and workshops for arts organizations and conferences nationwide, including the ones for the Consortium of Asian American Theaters and Artists. Currently, CIS is participating with a number of efforts to reimagine a future for theater that takes action on how to evolve our sector and society into a more anti-racist, human-centered, wholehearted one that allows we women and people of the global majority the opportunity to live to our fullest potential.
We've gone through 7 theaters and we have begun to scratch the surface. I haven't said anything about the wonderful work done by Pan Asia Rep and NATCO in New York, Silk Road Rising, Chicago, Pacifica in Baltimore, Papa in Philadelphia, the Theater Diaspora in Portland, or even Repertory Actors Theater and Pratawani here in Seattle. But time isn't infinite and we can't stay on forever. We just hope we've given you a taste of the variety of the myriad of artists working in Asian American theater and the wide spectrum of the stories Asian American theater can offer. If you want more, check out the CAATA website, check the APAC website, and check my site, the Asian American Theater Review. And let's thank our funders out there. We could not do this or any of our programs without them. And thank you for Ariel and Max to helping producing this online presentation. Let's see. Next episode, Monday, January 11th. Impact COVID-19 on our communities, hosted by CAATA Vice President Katie Sharp, who is the Artistic Director of Generic Theater Company in Austin, Texas. And let's not forget, yes, we're going to, and in February, there'll be another one. Now, don't forget, you can make a tax deductible contribution to CAATA and help us further our mission. And you become a member of CAATA and enjoy the many memberships, like getting in touch and contacting the vast memberships and the vast expertise of other Asian American artists. There's no need to walk blindly into the industry when you can consult other members in the organization. And we have our website, and we're coming up on Confest. We will meet you in Hawaii. So until next time, thanks for joining us here on the Virtual Confest with CAATA.